Hey guys, I'm just putting this video together to explain some differences in the XP routes that I've come up with for all skills with double jump, all cells, and any percent, which gives some minor time saves in each category. All cells is the most significant change and saves about 12 seconds. In any percent, it saves around 2 seconds if you're going with 3 HP from the start, and saves about 7 seconds if you're a big noob like me and you take the health cell at the beginning, so you're running with 4 HP from the start. And in all skills with double jump, the time save is likely less than a second if you can 6 cycle the ginso miniboss, but if you are also like me and often get a 7 cycle on it, then the save's around 4 or 5 seconds. So, to start off, we're here in Grotto. We just did the frog walk and got 10 XP from the slime in the death run, and we're just going to go from here. So the first thing is, in all skills with double jump, you'd normally want to avoid the XP from the fronkey down here so that you wouldn't level up too early for the core skip. But in this route that's not a problem. Of course my timing on these pressures is super off, but you can just take the XP from this fronkey in this case. And in fact, you should take the XP from this fronkey. So the routes all start out in the same way, so I can do them all in this file, at least somewhat. So now we're here at Grotto Skip, just to mention for completeness. We do want to take this 15 orb in all of these routes. Normally you'd skip it in double jump all skills, but in this case we actually need that XP, so you should take it. It's just normal for every other route. Next up is this 100 orb up here. And this is where things start to diverge from some of the more conventional routes. We never take this in any route that we're doing here. Just skip it. So up next is the 9 XP that comes out of the flower thing coming up here. We basically just want it in all categories because this costs no time to get and it smooths things out, makes things more consistent. And then the next thing to note is this damage, the dropping slime up here. You don't want to take that damage in all skills or all cells because we're not going to level up on the 200 orb. We want that health to do other damage boosts. So in any percent it's fine to just run through them like you normally do, but in all skills and all cells it's nice to jump so you trigger them early and avoid that damage. And then carrying on from here, the routes will diverge a bit, so I'm going to continue to talk about all skills and all cells, where we would just do this, head up this way, and run through this slime. In any percent we need that 200 experience, so we would stop there and take it. So I'm going to rewind back to that point later in the video and talk about what any percent does. Whereas in all skills, all cells, we just proceed like this, and we're going to get our level up off of that orb. And then we want that 30. And then coming up next, we proceed here. We can just damage boost through this slime. We don't need his experience. It's faster to do this. So just get past him like that and carry on to Ginso. And now here, there's a bit of a difference. In all skills, we're going to do this cutscene skip with a rekindle. Or rather, all cells does this cutscene skip with a rekindle. In all skills double jump, that extra experience we picked up actually turns into quick flame at this point. So since this is a debug file and I can de-level it later, I would just take quick flame with this cutscene skip. So here we are at the Ginso mini-boss. On the way up I just picked up the 2 convenient 5 XP flowers just to round out my experience a little bit. It's not strictly necessary, but it's nice to just pick up experience that doesn't take time to pick up, because you basically can't overshoot your experience with this route, and you just don't want to undershoot it for the core level up, so you might as well take experience that doesn't take time to get. So here we get the benefit in all skills of, since we have quick flame here, we can 5 cycle this boss if he behaves, and that's impossible without quick flame. You'll always get a 6 cycle at best, basically. So let's see it. Also, we get to just mash like crazy instead of having to face our shots, which is kind of nice if your shot pacing is like a bit off like mine is. So nice and quick. You get a 5 cycle. If you get maybe some bad RNG, you can still 6 cycle it, but you're definitely not going to get a 7 or 8 cycle. And also we level up here, and that's normal. We're supposed to get that level up here with this XP route. So now we're here at Bash, and in all skills, this is where we lose some of the time back that we saved by having Quick Flame for the mini-boss. Is that we need to get another level, so we need to pick up this XP orb and the next 100 XP orb, which basically evens things out, so it ends up kind of being a wash in all skills. This is why it doesn't save much time unless you're skipping 2 cycles on the mini-boss. And in all cells, we need these orbs anyways. We wouldn't have Quick Flame, but we need these orbs anyways, so the routes are still basically the same. We just grab this, and we're going to go grab the next one as well. With which good movement, you know, it doesn't cost that much time to get since you're waiting for the shot to travel anyways. You can see my sick movement there. It's just pretty normal stuff. Now we're at the second Ginso mini-boss, and at this point if you picked up the same experience as me, you're just gonna need 20 off of him to level up. Sometimes you could get away with 10, like maybe if you didn't do the damage boost on the slime outside of Ginso, and if you missed anything you might need some more. You might need to pick up all 30 if, say, the frog at iceless didn't give you all of his XP. So this is just standard stuff to fight the boss. I only maybe an optimization is you don't want to deal with RNG. You can just double bash off the last shot. I think there's other ways to do that, but you double bash off the last shot to ensure you pick it all up. And you're definitely safe to pick up 30. There's no way you can over level this. So that sets us up for core skip coming up here pretty comfortably, since I did pick up 30 there, although I only needed 20. And then we get to talk about the escapes, so I'm just going to keep this file going through, even though there's a little bit before we get to some experience, but there is some differences from between this and the normal like triple jump routes / all cells route. So in all skills double jump, we actually skip all of the experience normally, but here we need at least 100 at the end. And in all cells we're normally getting all of this, but we can skip it, which saves us some time. So in both of them we're going to do the same thing. We're going to skip all of the experience and then just take the very last 100, because that one takes very little time to actually go to your way to get. Or, you know, the least time out of any of them. So once again we can skip this experience up here, we don't need it. Get that one, and then we finish up the escape. So escape's done, now we're in the swamp. And at this point, you've got 285 to level. You're going to be around here depending on, you know, what you got and what you didn't get. So at this point, we're basically done the interesting part for all skills. I'll just explain the rest of the route here, and then I'll put myself in a state to do all cells, and then just carry on from there. So 285 to level, we're going to pick up one more level up using the 100 orb that you get as your entering Valley of the Wind for the first time, and 200 off of the Misty mini-boss. And then even if you're short a bit of this, you do pick up experience here and there off of mobs in Misty that die to the spikes and things you charge them through and whatnot. So you're basically safe at this point in all skills to level up, and your last 3 points get used on drainless, you level up regroup. Charge flame efficiency you use to do the sunstone cutscene skip, and then whichever one of these you want to do for the save drop in horror. Now you note that in this category you have to rekindle to get over the spirit tree. That's just faster than saving a point for it, because we don't have points to spare. Like, it's better to have quick flame for the Ginso mini boss than it is to save that point and use a level up on the spirit tree cutscene. But yeah, we just rekindle that. So in all cells, now unfortunately what's going to happen here when I give myself this point back, because I want to change this file into an all cells file, is I'm going to lose this experience if I give myself the point for taking away quick flame. So we're just going to keep that in mind for later, that I should have one more point here, because I wouldn't have leveled up quick flame in all cells And I also wouldn't have the store leave, so let's just take it away. And to save us running over to the right, I'm just going to give myself stomp now. The debug menu is great for doing things fast. So here in All Cells, this is where we get like a big time save, which we will lose back later, but this is why All Cells is saving more time than the other categories, is we're going to skip the ability cell that's up to the left of drainless, because we do not need it when we're doing things this way. And that's, if we couldn't skip this, we probably wouldn't have any time save, since we get to go through that path later during the cell cleanup stage. We'll just pick it up then. So what we're going to do instead is, after you're coming back from Stomp, we're going to use Hetfield's method of drainless, which is pretty sick. You start a save you make a save here on your way in. You start a save anywhere right there, and then you just do drainless off of this save anywhere. It's really fast. You just stomp, level up, and then that's drainless. Real quick. So at this point you'll be way ahead, but we're going to lose some time back later because we're going to have a delayed triple jump essentially. So everything up until this point in All Cells is completely normal. Along the way to Sorrow Pass, you're picking up all the ability cells that you normally get. Just normal stuff, normal stuff. And the only difference is you can't level up triple jump yet because you are short on points. You don't have enough for it at this point. So we got double jump, we got feather, but we can't climb Wall of Shame because you need triple for Wall of Shame. So we have to head off to the right here. And this is the split where we're going to suffer a bit. But the time saves we had earlier outweigh this if you do this well. So we got to climb to the right, which loses about 10 seconds. And then we also have to do Sorrow Bash with double jump, which kind of sucks, but that's life. And now the other thing is, I've noticed in some cases you can fall a little bit short of XP coming into Sorrow Pass to get the last level up that we need. So I'm just going to kill the frog to the right here as I go by him, because I think this is probably a good enemy to kill. I haven't determined if there's a better enemy to kill to like get basically like 10 more XP kind of thing. It could be that maybe not damage boosting off the slime outside of Ginso will be enough for this, but anyways, I'm going to kill him as I go by, and then we can go on our way. So that will certainly make sure my XP is good. I may have to go back later and just like see if it works out just by not killing this, or just by killing the slime outside again, so instead of doing that damage boost. But anyways, we're moving on for now. So we got to do this with double jump. Not too bad. And now we're getting to Sorrow Pass with Sorrow Bash with double jump. And I made another video about how to do this, but you can reduce this to just a single double bash, which makes it maybe not so bad. It's not too hard to manipulate the bird to do this. So let's see if I can get it quickly enough. Because if you fail this too many times, obviously this entire route is a wash. So damage boost there. And then when we get into Sorrow Pass. So still recall from earlier, because I did the quick flame stuff on this file and I never gave myself that ability point back, I'm still going to be one ability point short, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to have to give myself that with debug once I level up, but giving yourself ability points with debug messes with your levels, so oops. I didn't want to do it here. Also, I don't think you can make this without having triple jumps, you have to wait to bash off that. But it all works out. So here's where we finally get our level, and that ability point is where we finally get triple jump. So we blow that up, we get 175 when we level up. If you don't level up there, like I guess you could kill the spider or something, or get some experience from the thing on the roof. But now, grab this ability point, and I should be one short of triple at this point. So let's just give myself one more skill point. And there, we get triple. So now I'm back to this point of the game to talk about how the any percent route changes work. We pretty much covered everything interesting in All Cells, but I'll put a few final comments to how the XP route works out from where we stopped. So I did realize after recording that last section of all cells that if you did fall short on experience for the place I leveled up, a pretty good enemy to kill is the frog right before the laser section, the one that you would normally use for a double jump laser skip. You can just throw him in the spikes and he drops a lot of experience, so you'll certainly level up off of him, although I think it's best to level up on that charge flame thing that I leveled up at, but if you level up on the frog, that's not too bad either. And you could, if you really wanted to be optimal, you could do something similar to what I did at the frog. After picking up Feather, you just double bash him into the spikes and you won't lose too much speed. So there's that, and then obviously at that point you've used up all your ability points, but you get one more ability point from just after charge jump to use for the Sunstone cutscene skip, which you have to use on one of the low 1-point abilities from the other trees. And the downside to that is you don't get perfect defense, or ultra defense, whatever it's called, for Misty Woods. But it's not the biggest problem because you can just, like, as long as you don't get completely destroyed by the slimes at the end, because they're going to be doing 1 damage to you instead of half of damage, you really can't take a bunch of hits from them. But, you know, if you did it correctly, you would not get hit, or you'd get hit like just once normally, so that's just a little bit more of a concern, is you can't take a ton of damage in that section. But that's about it. So, anyways, moving back to any percent. So we're back at this point. My XP might be just slightly off here because I had to recreate this file, but it's pretty much the same level. We just got double jump and leveled up these abilities. So here's where we diverge. Unfortunately, these slime cycles are going to be off since I've been talking and the save is here. I didn't come up from below like you normally do. But anyways, we got to go get this 200 orb to the left because we definitely need this experience. Oh, that's good. That's the normal cycle for any percent. The slime won't get killed by the explosion. You don't need his experience anyways. So we carry on. And we're going to get another level up on this 100 orb here. And then we can still damage boost it again, so get that level up. I have the UI on, which kind of changes the explosions a bit, but no big deal. So yeah, we're going to damage boost into Ginso, and then I'm going to go over the changes in there. So I may as well show this damage boost again, because I don't know, I think it's nifty. You run up the wall. And that makes it easy to get past them. So we're definitely not leveling up an ability here, because it's any percent. Do the rekindle cutscene skip and get into Ginso. So Ginso is all normal up until Bash. This is where one little change happens, not much to say here. We just got to get this orb on its way out. Because we need one more level than we normally would, so you just pick up that. It's like the cheapest XP orb in the game to get before you head back for the out of bounds. So this section is where there's the next change in any percent. We need to pick up another 100, and the most convenient one is the one as you're heading out of this area. So rather than bashing down as you exit, we're going to bash higher up across the platform here and grab that orb before we get out of there. It's the cheapest other experience orb we have to get. And now we can show where the time save comes as we're heading out here as well. And this is why this is particularly nice if you're doing a 4 HP route from the start. Even though that still loses you more time. But, okay, so I never went through this on this file, so those plans are still there because we're a debug file and we're cheating. Anyways, so yeah. Oh, and this, sweet, hang on. This is what I get for not actually doing the frog walk on this file. Alright. So yeah, so you'd come through here nice and smoothly, and now you don't need to go up to get this ability cell, you would just go straight through this way. And if you're doing the health strats, you'd go up and get this health cell. But I cheated and just gave myself the health that I would have got here. So you'd go up and get this, you wouldn't go up further. You get to just go like... Okay, this Fronkey is way out of position, but you would get to just bash up straight to him. Please, Fronkey. Alright, let's just do this. And then we're gonna make up the rest of the experience that we don't yet have at the very end of Zero Pass, so this part's just normal. So now we're up at the top of Zero Pass with our rock, and if all went well and we didn't miss too much experience from places, blow this up, get 150, and that does the trick. As you can see, it is pretty tight, so yeah, if you miss stuff, like if you don't damage boost off the slime at this before ginso, then it's maybe a little nicer since you have 8 or 9 experience, whatever that guy drops. But as long as you pick up basically everything along the way, things should work out. But yeah, play around with it, because all of like these level ups are pretty tight. The all souls one and the any percent one, you end up pretty close on your last level, and especially on this one, if you are short when you get here, I think the best recourse is like go back down and kill the frog from the frog jiggle or something, which is really bad. But yeah, so you know, there's my proposed routes. Take it with a grain of salt, but I think these can save some time. Peace.